Welcome, my friends and fellow gamers. I'm Wrath, and we're back today in Hellion. So, as you're seeing, we've got some sped up footage, so I need to explain what's going on here. So, after our last episode, an update came out for Hellion, which is the updated and adjusted exploration elements. But it invalidated our current save. So we have to start all over again with everything going from the beginning. But I went ahead and did a straw poll, and I wanted to find out what everybody's opinion was on how we should go about it. Whether we should do a focus on like a quick start, like if you want to get away from Bether very quickly in the beginning, or if you want to do a base building session, just to show different base building ideas, or how to go about building a good, strong base. And we went through all of those, but when the straw poll came back, very few people had actually engaged with it, so the overwhelming response was that everybody wanted me to pick up in the storyline where we had left off. So that has turned out to be the case. So what I'm doing right now is, in order to get to that, I'm blitzing through the initial wind up to to getting my base and everything set up. I'm just blitzing through all of that, and then you're watching this at 4 times speed, I think, 4 or 5 times speed, where I'm just, got caught on the terrain there, where I'm just clipping through everything as fast as I can to get everything set up and done, just to minimize the amount of time that we're forced to go through this. Because otherwise, I mean, like, this is like an hour's recording that's been sped up down to about 20 minutes or so. And so we're getting everything down to the nitty-gritty here, so you don't have to really go through it all. Like that 4-minute warp is just blitzing on by, and this is mostly because I can't be bothered to do the same content over and over and over again for a video series where I've done this like a million times and we just don't make any progress, and it's absolutely frustrating. So I'm just gonna bite the bullet, do the one long recording, and then condense it down like this. So right now you should only be hearing my voiceover and none of the game sounds, and I'm probably gonna add a royalty-free music of some kind in the post-production to let us get through this as quickly and painlessly as possible. With that said, there's a lot to go over with what I'm getting done with this, because I wanted to try out a few different things. One of the things that came up is that somebody posted that they wondered why I didn't do the normal, why I always put my docking bay on the A point instead of the B point. And they were referencing the fact that there's a gun turret position right there in the B point, and I kind of explained to them that really you can't do that, because if you do, you're going to end up getting a lot of problems with running into what is it? The turret won't recognize you as a friendly because you don't have a command module. So you have to do it. And those dockings look really impressive at 4 times speed. So that's always kind of fun. Like it always looks like I'm just cruising on through and just being a genius with this stuff. And I'll grant that I have a lot of experience with these, but it still takes time and effort to put these together. I just happen to have gotten really good at the flying aspect of this game. So you can see me just put this together, and it just looks like I just... Wow. That really does look impressive. Holy shit. Take the module there. And we'll just go ahead and, as you can see, I'm just doing all of the assembly and everything as quick as I can on this. So I'm just dragging the parts wherever I go before we're ready. And we just pull it up. Dock the whole thing up. Yeah, don't ever try to dock at this speed, because you know, obviously this is moving 4 times faster than even I do it. So it is not by any scope of the imagination moving this quickly. There's me refilling my air and dropping those items down real quick. Get my normal routine going, and then I just skip the quest so I can do everything I want to do it at. So I'll just keep progressing here. And then we're just going through, and I'm just going to go to the components that are nearby so that I can just gather up all the salvage and everything else that I would normally wait to do till after I had fixed the station, because I'm just gonna gather everything up as quickly as possible. You see me do a quick circuit around this as I grab the 3, I think it is, that you have that are your default. Yeah, you only get 3 to start with. So grab all of those, check everything, and then get out. And then it's off to get ourselves the warp tools. And I do have to say, I do like this arrangement. It's much better in terms of like where I have the fabricator, because of how it adjusts the center of mass for the station. The center of mass is slightly ahead and below the front of my ship. So the whole station like pivots and moves a little bit more responsively, versus like if I was trying to maneuver this around with the fabricator on the right side there on the B port, that actually does not work out all that well, because when I'm moving everything around, the center of mass is off to the right. So the ship actually fights me. And that's one of the aspects of this game that I really love, is the fact that things like center of mass and how the controls respond are actually a thing that matters. And that is really, really useful. So you see me just starting to do all my repairs here, doing the usual things. I'm going and doing the exterior first, checking to see if there's any damage on the outside here, and since there's not, I just pop the solar panels so that we can get everything going. Now we do a quick buzz around the outside of the station here. And so we're just checking for all the possible breakpoints. Oh, whacked my head there. And we're just flipping around as fast as we can here. Now I'm not sure if this is going to be slightly desynced off of from, you know, I'm watching this as I'm recording the voiceover, so I'm watching it at the 4 times speed so I can do the recordings and have everything match up roughly where it is. So if I mention something slightly ahead of when it actually happens, or something along those lines, you know, just remember that there's a slight desync of this, because I'm actually recording the audio in Audacity while I'm watching the video, or a preview of the video section of the sped up elements, so that we can all live our lives a little bit more happily, and then everything will go according to plan. So just put these all together. refuel that and start the buildup of materials so that we can get everything squared away. And I made a mistake there because I should have sent that to the refinery, but I wasn't thinking. So I was deciding what I wanted to do there and running that some more. Refining all of the materials, and then you can see me going through and trying to take all of the extra components that I've got and throw them into the research unit so that I've got plenty of room for everything. So that way I've got all the parts that I need to build whatever I need. Ammo, carbon filter. So basically it's just, you know, going through and get a little more oxygen there and put that one away. So, you know, there's a constant sort of juggling here as I go along, and I actually mess up a little bit with like the power arrangement. Let's see here. So one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm clearing out this ship because I'm going to disconnect this ship and get rid of it, and then I realized that I still had fuel on the ship and I wanted to take all of that, and I overshot just a bit there. So you see me coming right back in and then pulling the nitro off the ship. So that there's no resources, and then I put just a tiny bit back so that I can maneuver it for just a second here. So we're putting everything away. And there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing this. The first reason is that I want to see what the recovery ships now come with. So I'm taking everything out of this ship that I need, and I'm just sending this thing off to its death. And we're going to just go on inside here. Take a peek as it goes away there. And it's actually, I get a really good shot of it exploding, which is awesome. So you can see that I'm pressurizing parts of the station here as I get more air, but foolishly I've got too much power drawing, like an idiot. So I have to basically shut it down for a period of time as we're going through this. So this takes painfully a lot longer than I wanted it to as we go through and make sure that we've got enough resources to continue the air process. And we go and take a look at the ship and zoom in on it, I think. Here. Yep, there we go. And then I'm like, just as I decide, okay, it's not going to blow up yet, and I zoom out, it's going to explode right into the screen. So it's like, boom! Oh, look at that! I still love it. That's always awesome to watch. But really, the only thing we got from the rescue ship was a whole bunch of extra nitro, and which means I'm probably going to end up having to vent a bunch of it later on anyway. So turn the Haven off. So you can see me here now. I'm trying to juggle all of the power requirements so that I can get enough air to get the system moving, or get enough energy so I can get the air production to keep going. And so you can see I've pressurized everything except for the main room here, and now I'm just trying to get enough power to get enough air to pressurize the main room of the station. And so we're just chugging along here. Finally got enough that I can breathe. And now we're calling a rescue ship to replace the one that we just blew up. So with that set, we we go ahead and we're going to go over here and turn the fabricator on and make sure that we've got everything set so that we can replace some of the parts. And that's when I realized that I needed to refine all of that ferrite into actual nickel iron, which was a bit of a pain in the butt. So while that's going on, I decide that I'm going to go and do a little bit of housekeeping here. I take the air out of there, refill my tanks, and then I decide I'm going to go get my my rescue ship and get it docked while that's all going on, only to find out that the rescue ship docked 4 kilometers or so away. So I'm looking around and I'm like, is that really it over there? And then I just go shooting off after it. This takes a lot longer than I would have really liked, but it is fortunately not as time consuming as it could have been. You can see, at 4 times speed, I'm gaining about 100 meters per second on this thing, but I was actually only doing about 22 or so. So we just keep on clipping over here. And again, my docking will look absolutely spectacular once I get over to this thing, just because of the speed at which we're doing all of this. So, take it with a grain of salt that this is all supposedly happening in short order. So, and I'm just filling time here as I make sure that we've got the ship, and then I realize it's upside down, so I flip around behind it and nearly damaged myself with that one. Go through the usual rigmarole of claiming the ship and powering it up. So now the ship is ours. We're going to go take it and dock it to our station. And of course, the trip back is a lot faster because I'm much better controlling the ship than I am with mine. I almost go too fast there. Take a look, realize I'm upside down. Slow it down, align it, and do my whole little docking routine. And like a boss, dead on. There we go. Swap that out with the civilian one, so we're good there. And there's really nothing else on the ship, so you don't get any of the stuff that you start with from the back, so you have to remember that. And we're just gonna go on in and get everything set and finish up the last of the refining, because the thing I didn't realize is that when the refiner turned off, it didn't, not like the air generator, it didn't auto restart whenever I wanted something. So here I'm assuming I'm creating a carbon filter for the station and then a catalyst for the station to up my power output. But then I come back and after I go and I put the catalyst in, I realize that I want an air filter for my ship as well, so that I can put the air in the ship and be able to have it not run me out of air. So this pretty much brings us back to the end of it here. And then once this ended, I actually put together a more traditional recording of myself doing the last final steps as we finished up some of the wind-up for the missions and everything. So I hope that this gets us up to speed with where we should be. Please continue to watch the remainder of the episode, and we will continue in the next episode once I've gotten all of this. So until next time, go ahead and watch through and see the rest of the setup that I do, and we will pick up from there.